Hi everyone. I just wanted to make a short video about MBTI personality types and I guess how you can find a good way to see them in a clear, concise format in The Simpsons. It's a show that's probably been around for 25 years. It's very popular. One of the biggest shows probably in America, and it's pretty funny. I've always loved it. It's been one of my favorite shows, and I I found this YouTube video or some link where it says it goes through every single personality type and gives it a Simpsons character. So all the Simpsons characters are represented. The family is, at least, except for Maggie, because she doesn't talk or do anything, and she has a binky and just doesn't talk. So I really was interested because um, this is the first time I've ever seen INFJ, my personality type, like ready right in front of everyone. And it's Lisa Simpson. Lisa Simpson is the ultimate INFJ. She doesn't fit in. She's so shy. She continually goes around trying to fit in no matter where she is. She's tried to fit in at school. She tried to fit in here. She tried to fit in a religion class. She takes a, she does everything, and she still can't find a place to fit in. She just never does. And that's like number one, the first thing I always identify with. Like, I don't ever feel like I fit in. I know a lot of INFJs don't feel that way either, and I think that it's just indicative of what it's about, and kind of how people view it that way. Um, um, I'll go some other characteristics. What she does, she's very open minded when it comes to religion. She just goes, she's in the show. She's tried like 5 different religions or something, and I think she sticks to Buddhism, which is, I think that's where she finds a niche eventually. Oftentimes Marge will be like, Lisa, I love you, but I don't understand you. I mean, a lot of people say, I don't understand you, Lisa. I don't understand where you get all the, why you think so big. And people think, they can see her, and she's thinking about all these problems in the world, and she's in second grade. And, that's probably like how I've been. And that's how I've always been. And I still think about deep problems. I always think about deep problems. And she always is, on that side rather than somewhere else. So, she continually has a sense of being wise and smart, and she's at the top of her class. And and INFJs are one of the better, higher intelligence personalities in general. It says that in actually the description. Um, and none of her peers understand her, and she's in class, and she can't make any friends. And I experienced that very much. I mean, my whole life it's been like it's hard to make friends, at least on a good basis, or always be in a group. It's hard. She can never be a part of the group. So I think that's just interesting. She's talented in music and art. She plays saxophone, and she meets that in the very first season or first episode, she meets that Bleeding Gums Murphy guy with the jazz guy, and she gets really sad, and she meets someone who's like 40 years old, and she cries, and she said, what 7-year-old does that? Like, that to me is someone like an INFJ, and every time I see her do something, I'm like, oh my god, that's me. I would do the same thing. Like, I think Springfield is in a lot of ways a like just a town. It's like anywhere USA, and that's probably why they don't have a city of Springfield. Like, it's just supposed to be America, and I think it's a very great illustration of how America is, and how an INFJ like Lisa Simpson fits in. And I also know she does this a lot. She does this all the time. She just goes, I'm going to be in a town hall meeting, and I'm going to start this big issue about this big stink about what the next trend is. I want no poison in the lake. She's always like, no, like Mr. Burns is doing something evil. Let's defend him. Let's defend everyone. And I also see her, like, there's a lot. I watched the whole few seasons about last week, and she gets in the middle of people, and she goes like this, and she says, like, she hates this harmony. She gets in the middle of two people and goes, "What are you doing? Like, stop fighting." And she's like a mediator. And I notice I do that a lot. I do that with my family. I do that with my friends. I do it with a lot of different people. And I think that is a very INFJ characteristic trait. So, enough about her. I think it's very interesting. I just like to apply it to me. And every time I watch it, I'm like, oh my god. Now I'm like, oh god, that's exactly me. And it's so if you're an INFJ, or I would watch The Simpsons and just study her a little bit because she's pretty interesting. Um, some other ones. I think an interesting one is Homer. Homer's in ESFP. Um, and I would describe him as chaotic good. He does all these crazy things. He's completely unhinged. Like, he just goes on his feeling, on his gut, and he doesn't really think about the consequences or anything. But sometimes it ends up good. Like I saw an episode last night where he like wins like $1 million really quickly because he gambled on something crazy, and then he loses it in the next 10 minutes. But he's going crazy, like super, like he's a character, cartoon character, so he's like way up to that. So that's not how all ESFPs are, but they're really fun. I mean, I have an uncle, and my mom are ESFPs, and they're the funniest people I can think of. So, he does a lot of like things bad, like he messes things up, but at the end of the day, he's really nice and really sweet, and his heart is in a good place. So he loves everyone, but his true feelings do eventually come out. Um, Another interesting character is Marge. She's an ISFJ, and she's warm and caring and considerate, and she borders on being very conventional. It's like she's okay with just a regular, like just being a housewife, and just she's cool with that, and she doesn't like to. She gets very uneasy when she has to move out of the box a little bit, which is fine, but because she recognizes other people have feelings, and she's like she recognizes their feelings, and then she makes sure to um, uh, not trample over them or do anything like that. So I think she's very balanced. I really like Marge. I've always liked Marge, and I've always seen her as very intelligent and very interesting. And like I said before, she doesn't. I don't think she has the capacity to kind of understand where Lisa's mind is. I think there's just that intuitive sensor. They have three of the same four letters, but I think that on some level they just don't connect. But I think Lisa and Marge are just the same way Bart and Homer are. So I think it's good because everyone knows who these characters are. So I think it's good to talk about it like this because everyone knows what these characters are like, and they're pretty typecasted. They're not like they're not super multifaceted where like you can't tell what type they are. So it's easy to tell this is a specific type. And then Bart disregards the rules a lot. Definitely, he as he's 10 years old, he completely messes with his teachers and does everything, and he likes to see outside of school. And he doesn't really see the need for it and all that, but he can still be successful. I think he's very gregarious and very emotional and not emotional, but like he's engaging with people, and he doesn't have any prejudice towards anyone. Like he just goes up to anyone and he'll just talk to them. And I think that's a really good thing about ESTPs is that they don't. From my experience, is that they don't, they have no prejudice when they meet new people and stuff, and they can accept people willingly. I've seen that on their type page, on how ESTPs are too. So I think that's very interesting. And then my last one, because I just kind of picked this one out because I think this is a very good illustration of INTJ. Mr. Burns is a huge example of INTJ. This mastermind. I mean, INTJ gone wrong. He's this huge mastermind person who just sits there and he just kind of smirks and like he sits there in his big giant mansion. He has these huge ideas that like are gonna end the world. That's like his intuitive trait, and he doesn't really care about. He just fires people left and right, and he just definitely his thing. He does not use feeling. He's very judging as well. He just is a very interesting INTJ type, and I think it's cool. So that's cool. I just wanted to talk a little about The Simpsons, and mainly about Lisa and how I feel like an INFJ. And every time I watch her, I'm like, oh, that's just me. That's me. And I want to see if anyone else thinks that. If anyone else thinks that that's something that's true, or they recognize, or I think it's a good illustration of an easy point about how to separate the personality types. I will also put that link to that Simpsons MBTI, so you can see if you like the Simpsons and you like the characters, or you see what kind of character you identify with and all that. It's kind of interesting, but it basically takes the MBTI test results and puts them on there next to the characters. So it's pretty interesting. And then I will also put my website I created in the last week onto the description link too. So check that out. So okay, thanks guys. Have a good day.